Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock! Go!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will. Hey, bud.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You, sir. Nope. Man, sorry. Alondra Villarreal. Man. Mr. Toby Tomlin. Well, that muscle memory will get you, huh? Tell you what.
I don't even look like him.
No, like, you're not a short guy that gets high all the time.
No.
I mean,
I'm none of those things.
I know. You're not short, a guy, or a pothead.
No. Thank God.
I know, right?
That all sounds awful.
I know. Sorry. Just muscle memory, you know what I mean? Like, you just get into it. And, man, last hour, I didn't do it at all yesterday. Last hour came close. I was going, Alondra. But this time I had my head down because I was reading a text.
Yeah.
And just going through the open. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. Shout out to Muse. He's at the beach. So Muse is at the beach all week. That's why he's not here. So I think Jordan's in tomorrow.
I believe so.
Jordan, I think, tomorrow, Thursday. And then Braxton Friday.
Yeah. Maybe.
And then, what's that?
Maybe me.
And somebody's Monday. Is Musso back Monday?
I think he's back Monday.
Is he back Monday? No. He's not back Monday.
Who is it, Paul?
I don't know. He's out.
Jordan again?
I don't know. Yeah, Musso's out. And Paul's out Monday, too. Oh, my God.
Ooh.
And Hunt's out. And Luke's out. And Jesse's out. Where's everybody going?
Everybody out.
I know, but then I'm out Tuesday because I got to go to New York for Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
So go to the Barrett Sports Media Conference on Tuesday. I'll be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll fly home Thursday. Then Friday, we leave for the beach. And I'm gone the whole next week.
Sounds fun.
Got about a 2-week piece. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Coming up. Excited about that. You know who's excited about this coming football season? Whit Weeks. How about that transition, huh? Professional radio guy. Whit Weeks was a guest on Tyrann Mathieu's In the Bayou podcast. Of course, they were there at Football Ops last week, sat down with Kiffin, and then also sat down with Whit Weeks during that time as well. It's an interesting convo for about 20 minutes. You can go catch the whole thing on YouTube if you want to check it out. Tyrann Mathieu's In the Bayou podcast. There's a few things, though, that I thought were interesting. You know, one is obviously Whit Weeks talking about, you know, just the way that he plays, which is something that just captured LSU fans from, you know, his first snap as a Tiger.
I think my dad instilled it in me from a young age. He was always our coach growing up, me and all my brothers. So
that's a good and a bad thing.
Yeah, he was always way harder on us than anybody else. So I mean, if we weren't hustling or if we weren't giving as much effort as we possibly could, he was always going to make us do 20 up downs on the spot. So from a young age, he kind of just instilled hard work in us. Yeah, and he kind of showed us that effort goes a long way.
And the thing I'll always say about Whit is maybe more so than any player I've ever covered at LSU football, I don't know that there's anybody that has a better attitude about everything. Whit Weeks is he is always smiling. It's almost like it's almost like the Joker who's got his face stitched up because he's always smiling. Like, that's like Whit. Except the Joker is like a creepy criminal guy, and Whit's just kind of awesome. But it's like that. I mean, he's always got a great attitude, man. It's just a genuine thing. It's awesome to see. But they did they talked a lot of that stuff, and they talked about Lane and, you know, Lane dating Lane's daughter and crawfish and a lot of different stuff. But there was some football stuff in there as well that I thought was interesting. This was Whit talking about what it's like playing defense against Lane Kiffin's offense.
We've looked at the schedule, and we play 4 of the fastest paced offenses in the country.
Okay.
But we get the fastest paced offense in the country at practice.
Okay,
So whenever we show up on Saturdays, we'll be ready for it.
Okay, those 4, by the way, all 4 have new head coaches. So it's 4 of the fastest paced offenses, but there's also a lack of familiarity. So it's this interesting contrast where when you get a new head coach in their first year, typically that's a good thing. As a team's going through transition and learning a new coach system, all that sort of stuff, that's usually a benefit. But you are going to see a ton of tempo. And it's the 4, if you're not familiar, are Auburn with Alex Golish, Kentucky with Will Stein, Arkansas with Ryan Silverfield, and, of course, Ole Miss with Pete Golding. Now, Pete Golding is just sort of being elevated there as the head coach. Got a new offensive coordinator in there that had been on staff, left, and is now back trying to run the same offense of Kiffin and Weiss. We'll see if that works. I'm skeptical, but whatever. We'll cross that bridge when you get there. But whenever I hear tempo, the thing I always think about, and I know T-Bob said this for years, in all the years that we worked together, he would talk about 2011. And LSU opened that season with Oregon. And Oregon, that was Chip Kelly, the blower offense. If you remember, in 2010, Oregon played Auburn for the national championship, and that was Cam Newton's Auburn team. You know, Auburn hit the game-winning field goal to win the national championship. They beat that Oregon team, and Oregon had Darren Thomas and LaMichael James, so many super freakish, talented guys offensively. And as soon as LSU beat Texas A&M in that Cotton Bowl at the end of 2010, and they started their offseason work, I mean, everything was Oregon. Like from day one, all through that offseason work, spring, summer, everything was Oregon, Oregon, Oregon. They were prepared. I mean, Oregon, I think, was number 3 in the country preseason. I mean, it was a massive matchup in Jerry World. Many of you who lived it remember. I mean, it's been 15 years now, which is weird to say it's been that long, but it's probably a lot of younger people who maybe aren't familiar with that. But it was a massive, massive thing when it happened. But all of that work preparing for that offense helped pace that team and that defense throughout the season, the manner in which they played. So I tend to believe what Whit is saying there. Like, you know, we had throughout spring several guys come through here, whether they were, you know, Our Lady of the Lake partners or Gordon partners, and you know they came in and you know Charles Ross was in here, Ryan Moret was in here. We talked to a lot of guys. Some of those were defensive guys. Jakeem Jackson came through as well. And the thing that all those defensive guys said every time they came here in studio was like, man, they are just whipped after practice, going against the tempo. But it's conditioning you for what you're going to see. Now, what I will be fascinated to see is if LSU offensively tries to protect its defense by slowing down a little bit. Because one thing that's undeniable, you go faster offensively, your defense can be on the field for a bunch more plays, meaning snaps and yards and points are all going to go up defensively, statistically. So how do you want to play? It'll be interesting to see. But as far as the conditioning, I don't think there's any doubt that that's part of it. Now, 12, please. Whit was also asked, they got into the conversation about, you know, Whit playing for his girlfriend's dad. But as far as Lane Kiffin, the coach, Whit was asked what stands out about Lane, the coach.
I think the biggest thing that stands out to me is that he's focused on every little detail. Like he doesn't cut any corner at all. Like as far as what he expects from not only the players, but what he expects from his coaches as well. That's the biggest, like that's what's really standing out to me is the work that he expects out of his coaches and out of his staff. Also with the players, of course, but that's what stands out to me the most.
Whenever I heard Whit say that, it's interesting how sometimes you look for parallels. And the first thing that popped into my mind, look, we've all seen Lane like at the coffee pot, you're doing the social media post, the coffee pot at 4 a.m. or whatever, right? Leaving the building at 10 o'clock or through all the portal season and everything, right? We've seen him, the work ethic, the hours, all the stuff. But during spring, during one of his press conferences, Lane was asked a question about Nick Saban. And I think the question was something like, you know, all the rotating of players, and they were rotating heavily during spring. So all the rotating of players and trying guys at different positions. Like, is that something you've learned from Saban? Remember, the question was about rotating players. The answer had nothing to do with rotating players.
I think more
from him comes, I find myself now like the obsession of winning, the obsession of every day of like, there's got to be something that we can do better. And I find myself like that. And I think maybe now our coaches get a little annoyed with me, maybe like I did him. And it's like where you're kind of never pleased. I find myself like that. So that really what I feel taking from him is more than that, really the different position. But in that, you look at everything. Could this guy play somewhere else? Could he do something else? Like there's got to be a way to play better than we did yesterday and to practice better than we did yesterday each day. And I mean, that's why I'm here all the time, trying to figure out some way of something we can do better.
You know, one of the things I tell you about Lane all the time, my observation of Lane is in press conferences. No matter what you ask him, whatever message he wants to get across, he's going to get that message across. That question was about trying guys at different positions. Like we remember famously, Josh Reed was a running back who became a receiver, right, and won the Biletnikoff. Corey Webster was a receiver who became an All-American cornerback and played a long time in the NFL. Like that Saban was sort of very known for that. And Lane took a question about that and turned it into what he learned from Saban is the attention to detail, the maniacal drive to be better in little ways. Then you hear Whit effectively saying the same thing. That's whenever I guess I've just tend to notice when you have I'll use the word alignment within your organization and everybody independent of each other saying the same things, you know a message is penetrating and it feels like it is. Now, I don't know that means LSU is going to win a championship this year, how many games they're going to win. But the processes, the things they are trying to install and instill in the players and the coaches from top down, it's taken hold. Good convo there with Tyrann Mathieu and Lane with Tyrann Mathieu and Whit Weeks. We'll revisit some of what they had to say a little bit later in the show. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Always love telling you about the Supper Club. Man, last night, hat tip to Brandon and the gang, Chef Layton over at Supper Club. They opened their doors. They were not open on Monday, but they opened their doors for the fundraising event for Will Wade's basketball team. If you haven't seen it yet, there's some cool photos on social media. If you check out at LSU Basketball on social media from the event last night, where, as I was told, the very generous donors in that room last night, in one night, raised $2.5 million for LSU's basketball roster. So a great night, and of course, Supper Club, happy to be a part of it. We tell you all the time, man, just nothing like having an event, a memorable experience at Supper Club. You want to get your reservations, you can. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. They're open today, open to the public, so you can always pop in to the bar area, open seating at the bar or the bar tables. So you can always try your luck there if you don't have a reservation. But Tuesday, great way to get the week started. Go close some business, meet a client, call your significant other, say, meet me at Supper Club for dinner tonight. They're right there in Perkins near Bluebonnet. Or if you're making plans for this weekend coming up, make sure you book your reservations at SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, it is After Further Review. We are rolling through the 5 o'clock hour presented by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. The NBA draft is tonight. We'll get your draft preview in a little bit, but when we come back, the supplemental draft this year will not happen for Brendan Sorsby. I want to react to that. We'll do it next on AFR.
After Further Review.
YourGoodwood.com. You've heard so many people, me included, talk about peptide therapy. Maybe you're interested in learning more. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. Hey, man, I thought they were an ED clinic. Yes, they do ED treatments. That's one of the things they do. But they do so much more. It's about holistically letting you feel your best and live your fullest, most vital life. If it's ED treatments, if it's hormone replacement therapy, and yes, they offer dozens of different peptide therapies. And they will always have the lowest prices and never any contracts. So one of the things that I say often is, if you're not sure if a peptide might be right for you, go for the consult, have a conversation about what might make sense for you, make a decision, and then try a cycle of it. See how you feel. And if you don't like it, don't do it anymore. Again, lowest prices, never any contracts. They're not going to get you stuck in some long-term subscription deal or anything like that. YourGoodwood.com. They're on Drusilla, YourGoodwood.com.
After Further Review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Brendan Sorsby will not be participating in the NFL supplemental draft because the NFL is not going to be holding a supplemental draft. This might sound a little confusing, but we learned, of course, that Brendan Sorsby, the Texas Tech transfer, decided to not pursue further legal action. We later learned that it was Texas Tech that said, dog, you can't play here. So, all right, I'll go supplemental draft. And if you're not familiar with how the supplemental draft works, I'll kind of give you just the abbreviated Cliffs Notes. Teams can put in a draft pick claim for Sorsby. It's a closed bid, and whoever offered the best compensation gets the player. So you could say, I'll give a 7th-round pick. And if someone gave a 3rd-round pick, whoever gave the high – let's say there's 2 teams that went as high as a 3. Well, whoever had the highest pick, respective of last year's draft, right, they get the player. And then you basically forfeit the next spring's draft pick, corresponding pick, in this case, example, like a 3, for that player. But the NFL, it's their decision if they want to hold a supplemental draft. And they will not hold a draft for Brendan Sorsby, who, of course, is admitted to betting on sports with thousands of wagers, totaling more than $90,000. Sorsby's attorney told ESPN that the NFL's decision not to hold a supplemental draft, quote, is a violation of the CBA and the law. We will pursue this immediately with the NFLPA. First of all, Brendan Sorsby, someone better allowed his dude to play football because his attorney's fees have got to be, like, obnoxious right now. Anyway, the league sent a letter to Sorsby, which has been obtained by, this was Tom Pelissero who shared it. Your petition filed 3 business days before the deadline without any supporting information or documentation, and only after abandoning your recent litigation efforts to avoid NCAA sanctions, does not provide a basis for the league to alter those plans. They went on. The petition provides no information regarding the basis for or timing of the NCAA's decision. Public sources, however, indicate in May, the issue determining, permanent eligibility. Wait, that wasn't it. The other line was, sorry. I lost it. Sorry, I lost the line. Effectively, the letter to Sorsby, it effectively poo-pooed his entire argument of going to, here it is. Sorry. The letter signed by Larry Fazzani, the general counsel of NFL Management Council, adds, Sorsby's petition does not, quote, demonstrate accountability for your conduct or indicate whether or how you would adhere to the league's rules and policies governing the integrity of competition. Instead, even after receiving notice of the NCAA's decision rescinding your college eligibility in May, you sought to avoid the consequences of that determination through litigation rather than accepting responsibility for your actions, and you pursued entry into the NFL only after abandoning those efforts. Basically, the NFL is going, we don't need you, bro. See, college football, in this case Texas Tech, needed Brendan Sorsby. They're willing to pay him a lot of money because they needed to win. The NFL don't need Brendan Sorsby. He's a giant headache. It's one of the things that I was going to be fascinated to see how this all manifests, because, like, when Terrio was here on Friday, I asked him this question as a guy who played a decade of professional baseball, and how he would have reacted if Sorsby were his teammate, or was coming into the league, haven't had the gambling allegations and all, and he didn't think it was that big of a deal. From a professional standpoint, I don't want to put words in his mouth. But I look at that and I go, man, if you are a professional, a billion-dollar professional organization, and I'm looking at this strictly through the lens of the NFL franchise. You're a billion-dollar organization. This is the most important position in organized team sports. This guy has admitted, we know there's a paper trail of him spending wagering tens of thousands of dollars, thousands of bets, even on his own team. This is such a big deal about the integrity of the game everyone knows there's no way he should have been allowed to play. Texas Tech was still pursuing it for reasons we know are obvious. Why would the NFL just welcome that dude on in? Look, I learned this in a unfortunate instance for the young person, and it was the Lyle Collins situation around the draft. If you remember this, and there's a tragedy involved herein, but it didn't involve Lyle at all. Lyle Collins was going to be a first-round draft pick. He was going to be a top 15 player in the draft. And Lyle Collins' ex-girlfriend tragically was killed before that draft. And investigators wanted to speak to Lyle as a person of interest. Not that he was never accused of anything, never charged of anything, nothing. It was just they wanted to have the conversation as they're investigating a murder to see who might be able to provide any type of information. That coincided with the NFL draft, and the word around the NFL was, hey, protect the shield. And teams were told, like, do not draft Lyle Collins. Now, they can never publicly say don't do it, but that was sort of the wink nudge, because one player coming out of college, no matter how good or dynamic they are, one player isn't going to alter the NFL. Like, whether Brennan Sorsby is in the draft next year or not, it's not going to change the NFL. It's not going to change whether or not you or I watch the NFL or the fortunes of a team or whatever. And so, and as we all know with Lyle, like, he had nothing to do with that. He went undrafted. He signed with the Cowboys, had a long career, and was able to make a lot of money, and good for him. I'm glad it worked out the way it did, but dude was cheated out of the opportunity to be a first-round draft pick because the NFL is bigger than any one player. It doesn't matter who that one player is. So that's always been my sort of perspective on this Sorsby thing is, why would an NFL franchise risk bringing a guy in who has a gambling addiction, air quotes? I'm not saying, by the way, I believe addictions are real. I believe gambling addictions are real. I do not believe Brendan Sorsby has a gambling addiction. And clearly from the NFL's letter to Sorsby, they don't either. They think it was him trying to circumvent NCAA rule and get around the consequence of his actions. So there's two parts of this. One is Brendan Sorsby's learning. Actions have consequences. He screwed up. He's suffering the consequence now. That's number one. Number two, the NFL doesn't need Brendan Sorsby. So I keep going back to the Hunter Decker situation. Now, Sorsby is a more accomplished college player than Deckers. But remember what happened with Deckers when he got popped at Iowa State. He went down to a lower level, not affiliated with the NCAA, played, and then had to just try out to be signed, as a free agent to get a roster spot tryout. And he got that with the New Orleans Saints. And it feels like that's going to be the path for Sorsby as well. If he is going to play in the NFL, that's going to be the path that it goes. Like, he'll be a free agent that will have the opportunity to sign on a tryout basis for a team and see if he can go make a squad. But no team is going to invest a draft resource or big money in a guy that may not even clear the league's protocols for gambling. Like, what if you bring this guy to your roster and he continues to perpetuate the same behavior? What, now you've brought this issue to your franchise for what? I get it why Texas Tech wanted him to play. I don't agree with it, but I get it. He could make Texas Tech better. There's no NFL team that needs Brendan Sorsby. Let me know what you think about it. You can email me, tweet me, or text me, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Yo, vacation's here. 4th of July is 11 days away. Maybe you're hitting the road for the 4th, a beach vacation, going on a lake vacation, maybe the mountains, the baseball trip this summer for those tournaments all over. Make sure your vehicle is safe to make those road trips as you carry your most precious cargo, your family. You need your tires rotated. You need new tires. You need the oil change. Anything done to your vehicle, bring it to Shawbills. Any of their locations across South Louisiana. You can find a Shawbills location nearest you. You can schedule service online. You can shop tires online. It's all there at ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. All right, y'all, we are rolling through hour number 3. We're glad you're with us. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks in 15 minutes from right now. A couple more tidbits from the Whit Weeks interview with Tyrann Mathieu coming up. And there is a clarification on the NCAA's new age restriction rule. If you missed it, the NCAA Division I Council earlier today did, in fact, accept the new age restrictions. So effectively, what they're doing is trying to purge older players out of college athletics. You will have 5 to play 4, and the clock starts when you graduate high school or when you turn 19. So, but how will that affect particularly Will Wade's basketball roster this year? I'll tell you next. It's AFR.
After further review.
And you want to beautify your outdoor space, Clegg's Nursery can always help you do it. They got full greenhouses with gorgeous flowers, a great selection as far as the eye can see, and a super helpful staff. So Seagoneer Airline, LA16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. I always tell you to buy local and shop local. You know, bypass the big box stores and support great local businesses. How about this? Sun Parasol Fired Up Orange. Look at this beautiful plant. You want to go check that out, you can at any of the Clegg's Nursery locations. Add that pop of color to your flower beds, your patio pots. Just a gorgeous way to go beautify your outdoor space and add so much more enjoyment during the summer months. And the flip side of it is they can get rid of all those pests as well. Mosquitoes or ants or wasps or snakes or any of the pests that you got around your outdoor space, they can help you get rid of them as well at Clegg's Nursery. So buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Okay, so, gosh, of course, the Ole Miss game. You know, we got all this hype going into that. I'm dating Landry, this, that. Of course, that's the game they catch me on TV throwing up. But I throw up every single game, and then they also caught me the next week, too. So then, by the end of the season, what I started doing, I was like, you know what? I'm not letting them catch me. I'm going to throw up before the games now. Yeah. So now, once we leave pregame warm-ups, I go in the bathroom, get it out of my system, and I'm ready to go. I think my central nervous system, I just get so jacked up that, like, my first instinct is, like, throw it up so I can keep going.
All my years of playing sports, and look, I'm not Whit Weeks, not a high-level athlete, obviously, but football, basketball, baseball, soccer as a kid, like I ran marathons. I have never thrown up, ever. Not during a workout, not during 2-a-days, practice game, nothing, ever. Never thrown up.
My brother used to before every game. Kind of like Whit.
Maybe my central nervous system is good. It's a weird thing. Like, I can tell you I've never thrown up, ever. I mean, I've thrown up in my life, but not during a sporting event. Whit just like projectile vomiting on camera is so good, though.
Wait, I love his little giggle at the end. It's so meathead.
Oh, man. Such a good dude. Whit Weeks on Tyrann Mathieu's podcast. Y'all check it out if you missed it. It was a great conversation between two all-time great LSU defenders, man. Whit, see if he can stay healthy and get back to the All-America caliber he was during his sophomore year. Real quick, candidly, I'm texting with Ross Dellinger because right now, so today, the NCAA Division I Council approved the new age-based model. What that means is starting in the fall of 2027, so not this coming fall, but next fall, full-time students will have 5 years to play for, and the clock starts immediately upon graduating high school or your 19th birthday, whichever is more advantageous for the athlete. So, all that to say, like, there will not be starting in fall of 27 for the 27-28 school year, there will no longer be basically what LSU basketball and many others are doing right now, which is bringing in older players into college. The medical red shirts, the 6th, 7th year, that will not happen anymore. the max you will have to play is 5 years to play for. If you graduate high school and then go do auto detailing and then decide you want to come back and play college football, not happening. You want to go play pro baseball and then come back to college football, not happening. That ends. Here's the tricky part. I'm looking at it like Will Wade's current team, like some of the international guys. International guys that have never enrolled in college. And you could look at some of the guys that are 19 or 20 or 21, 23 years old, whatever it may be. The way this reads, the implementation, I'm looking at it right here. Actually, Paul, if you want to pull this up on screen, you can. So, prospects who enroll full-time at any college or university during the 26-27 school year. Can you pull this up? Thank you. Prospects who enroll full-time at any college or university during the 26-27 school year, okay? Either the previous rules or the new age-based model, will be applied, whichever is most beneficial to the student-athlete. Well, the previous rules were you had 5 to play 4, but there was no age restriction. So if the previous rules are still applied for someone that enrolls in the fall, so let's say you're Yan Madar. Yan Madar, the Israeli point guard, is 25 years old. Let's say he enrolls at LSU in August. Well, the previous rules could apply. There should be nothing to prevent him from playing 4 years if he wanted to, because that would be I'm reading it right here. The previous rule or the new age-based model, whichever is most beneficial to the student-athlete. But the previous rule, there was no age restriction. So in theory, there's no reason that player couldn't play 4 seasons over 5 years. I'll need some clarity on that. But what's pretty clear either way is those players will need a waiver coming from international ball to college basketball. Those players will need a waiver. The NCAA, I think it's pretty clear, is not going to grant those waivers. And so if the NCAA doesn't grant those waivers, then you're going to have to go get an injunction, like we've seen all these other student athletes do. We'll continue to follow this, obviously, but Will Wade has said it very clearly that the expectation is by the time the fall semester, the way he said, when school starts, they'll have a full roster and they'll be really good. So right now you have 4 players, 4 transfers, and then the incoming freshman who committed last week. So you get 5. 5 that you know for sure in. You got to build the rest of the rosters. You're trying to do with these older international guys, which, as we've seen, is a very common thing. It's all over college basketball. LSU just has a lot of them. You better hope they get eligible. You can be scrambling to fill a roster. All right, we're brought to you by Evermore. EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. Always got my Evermore with me. I love buying the 4-packs of the 64-ounce bottles. They got 20-ounce, 32-ounce, and 64-ounce. So find the size that you like best, whichever's most convenient. I like to carry I get the 4-pack of the 64-ounce bottles. I drink 2 of them a day. So highly recommend. It's natural artesian water. It's straight from the source. It's a healthier alternative. One of the things in my whole health journey, and I'm going to bore you with it, but like I've purged drinking tap water out of my life. So look, there's fluoride in tap water, which is great for teeth cleanliness, but it's also a neurotoxin. So you should be drinking a ton of tap water. You do it once, it's not going to hurt you, but over the course of your life, could have negative effects. This is a natural artesian water, straight from a natural artesian well, spring well on the North Shore. It's Evermore, EVAMOR. It tastes great. It's a healthier alternative. It's a natural product. Give it a try. Evermore, EVAMOR, evermore.com. All right. Man, been a good show. If you missed anything, you can catch AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. Shay was here in hour 1, talked some Cruton. We had both Todd McClure and Todd Walker in hour 2. Recap the College World Series. Todd McClure going into Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame this weekend. talked about the no supplemental draft. We recap some of what Weeks had to say in his interview with Tyrann Mathieu. You can catch any of that on demand, podcast or YouTube. My apologies for those who normally watch the show on YouTube. I believe there was a live streaming issue with you. It wasn't on I think it was on YouTube's end today while we're not able to stream on YouTube. But you can always watch us on WBTR. And Paul has been recording the show, so if you want to watch it later, we'll get it posted later on YouTube as soon as we're able to do that. So we appreciate you for your patience with that today. Okay, it is after further review. We'll grab our final break, come back, wrap it up. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks. We'll find out what we're betting on tonight. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon. Get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You know what to do. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Of course, we tell you all the times about the many different ways that Gordon gives back to his communities, not just through representing people who were injured, but also all the philanthropy. You know, the Gordon Gives arm is the charitable arm of Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. That's when they give away the laptops around graduation, the bicycle giveaway around Christmas, the G Team, which is how Gordon does his NIL philanthropy, giving great opportunities to college athletes, not just in the revenue sports, but different schools and all different opportunities there. So many different ways Gordon gives back. My son Drew plays the Miracle League, and you go to the Miracle League field out at Traction, you see a Gordon McKernan sign on the outfield fence. So many ways Gordon gives back to the communities he serves, and he loves to do it. So you want to learn more, you can always do it at GordonGives.com. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done. River Parish Contractors, their work is here. They are focused on home base in Louisiana. They're not interested in doing work in California or San Antonio, Texas. This is stability. It's a quality company, and all of their practices put in place are above and beyond. They scored a 99 on a Fortune 500 company's safety audit. You know, you don't get hired if safety isn't at the core of what they do, and that's what they do at River Parish Contractors. If you want to work for an awesome local company, they want to talk to you. Full benefits, as much overtime as you want to work. Tons of work that's going to keep you busy well past 2026 into 2027. So it's not like it's something where you're going to work for 2 weeks and you're going to be looking for a new job. No. It's River Parish Contractors. Also, day and night shifts, whichever you prefer. River Parish Contractors. rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. The NBA draft is just about to get underway. 7 o'clock Central Time tonight, ABC and ESPN. You'll hear it if you're listening to us on ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge. You'll hear it right here as well. The thing worth keeping an eye on locally is if the New Orleans Pelicans there's 2 storylines. One, if the Pelicans do in fact get aggressive and make a trade. There's been a lot of conversation about the Pelicans potentially trading with Atlanta to get their pick back. Of course, the Pelicans had the 8th pick, would have had the 8th pick of the draft. They traded to Atlanta when they moved from 23 to 13 and took Derek Queen last year. So we'll keep an eye on that. The other thing worth keeping an eye on is a local prospect, of course, from Ponchatoula, Alan Graves. Will he be a first-round pick? He's projected to be maybe a late teens or early 20s pick. Of course, his brother, Marshall Graves, played at LSU. I was told Toronto could be in the mix. Actually, I was told earlier today, Alan was told, make sure you have your passport in case if Toronto drafts you, because you got to go to Toronto. Apparently, Oklahoma City at 17 and the 76ers at 22 are a couple of potential landing spots for Alan Graves. As a matter of fact, that's one that ESPN has him mocked. There is at 22 to Philly. So we'll keep an eye on the local prospect from Ponchatoula and where he may land. Okay, one thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What's up, Matthew?
Another day, another dollar, man. Oh, I'm going to see you in a little bit over at LeBear's, yeah?
Yes, on my way.
On my way.
Well, I got to get out of here. I got to put my tux on and get over there, but I'll see you there in a bit.
Good, man. Great event. Honoring a great man. So, Ruff and Rodri getting the Mama Marino award. So, looking forward to packed house, man. 550 people at capacity, sold out for months.
Awesome.
So, really excited about it tonight.
Fired up.
So,
yeah, we'll see you over there.
Yes, indeed. Let's get to the baseball underway already. Detroit and the Yankees. We flipped. We lost with the Yankees last night. We're going with former Auburn pitcher Casey Mize. He has really broken through this year. He's been real, especially at home. He probably will be an all-star for the Midsummer Classic. Rodon, okay for the Yankees, coming off of the injury list. But we're going to take an improving Detroit team in Casey Mize. No score bottom first in that one, money line. Atlanta, San Diego late tonight. San Diego just can't score. They got one home run by Manny Machado, a solo shot, and that was it. Atlanta should be able to score some runs tonight against Peralta. J.R. Ritchie, the young rookie for Atlanta, he gets to start in favorable conditions against a kind of a very disappointing lineup this year in San Diego. Moneyline parlay, Tampa Bay and Los Angeles. Tampa Bay lost a one-run game last night to Kansas City. Waka shut them down, but we look for them to bounce back tonight in that one with one of their best pitchers going. And then the Dodgers going against Minnesota. Favorable pitching matchup. Don't want to lay the big money line there, but we're going to put them together, and it's going to cash about plus 135. That's what it was. That's what it was paying earlier when I phoned it into Hunt. And then the White Sox. What a crazy game last night. They're all tied up now in the American League Central. White Sox in Cleveland. White Sox led 3-0. Cleveland tied it up 4-3 in the ninth. They scored 2 in the ninth and then gave up a 2-run, 2-out single to lose it. That's a tough one for Cleveland, like the White Sox. Cleveland's their top 3 hitters are out with injury right now. White Sox at home. We talked about their home and away splits. Real modest price there, minus 102, going with the Pale Holes on the south side.
Jimmy, I have no idea what happened yesterday, but somehow I bet a 9-pick parlay at plus 2,070, and I'll be damned, it hit.
It hit?
It hit.
What were the legs?
I have no idea how this happened. Fernando Tatis, 1+ hits. Alonso, 1+ hits. Sam Anatochi, 1+ hits. Over 2.5 goals in Norway, Senegal, which is one of our picks. Then a 3-pick same-game parlay with Ohtani, Freeman, and Buxton hits. And then a 2-pick same-game parlay with Corbin Carroll and Kettle Marte over hits.
Does True ever play with your phone?
I have no idea. In the most genuine way I can tell you, I opened up my app and I was like, holy, like, what is that number?
Well, that's a pleasant surprise.
Plus 2,000. What in the hell happened?
Well, you put 9 legs together, Matt.
No, I didn't. I assure you, I assure you, I did not manually put a 9-pick parlay together. That definitely seems like something my son would do.
Well, is he aspiring young handicapper?
All he wants to do is watch videos of Gordy Rush on YouTube.
Well, there's worse things he can be doing than watching G Rush. You know, come on.
I just wish I had accidentally bet more.
All right. Oh, no. There's never been a winner we didn't have enough on, okay? Never.
But Jimmy, I didn't intentionally bet that. That's what I'm telling you.
That doesn't sound like one of those, those bonus ones that they throw together for you, and you click it. Those are usually like 3 or 4 legs, not 9. So, but, tis the season.
I'm stunned. I'm stunned. I have no idea how that happened.
The Mbappe, Messi, and Haaland, 2 goals or more, they're paying like slot machines right now.
Oh, man. All right.
It's like they have the code. So
Where are you tomorrow?
We're at Roca Pizzeria.
I'm going to show you. When I see you, I'm going to show you this.
Tonight.
It's stunning to look at. Anyway.
You know who will be sitting next to me who can figure this out for us?
Hanny.
He figures out everything for me. Yes, Hanny. Hanny will figure it out.
All
yes.
right, thank you. Enjoy Roken tomorrow. See you in a little bit. Have a great night. We'll see you.
All right, buddy. See you.
It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. They're the best at Lee Michaels. You'll always get the Lee Michaels experience. Remember, I say it's like Goldilocks, right? It's just right. Yes, the box stores are they're cookie cutter. The boutique jewelers, maybe not a great selection. You're going to overpay. Lee Michaels is just right because they buy for 9 stores. You're going to get a great selection and a great price and the great customer service. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Do you want to know how much I bet on this?
What? I'm scared.
No.
$10.
No.
100.
No.
5.
$1.
Oh.
Like, I don't think, I think this is a glitch in the app. I'm serious. Why would I bet $1 on a 9-leg parlay? I've never put together a 9-leg parlay. But it paid like $21. I mean, I cannot believe what I'm looking at. Never in my life I ever put together a 9-leg parlay. For $1? Well, I mean,
AFR.
as we get on down the road, get to remind you of our friends at Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, and LSU. Together we roar. So cool late last week to see the ribbon cutting at the new state-of-the-art Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Institute. I say it all the time. They're expanding health care, not just in Baton Rouge, the state, the region, across their multi-state health system in Louisiana and Mississippi. It's actually amazing right now when you look at the investment that FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, is making in the healthcare in this area. Really, truly amazing when you look at the sheer numbers of what they're putting together. I mean, we're talking about nearly, it's $250 million in Baton Rouge and $500 million in investment projects across the entire health system. Just amazing right now. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar.